Hi everyone, this is WABC Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg, and this is Weather or Not, and Wake Up Weather on ABC 7 NY. Our first soaking since late September. We are due to get drenched. That's exactly what's coming, and this bone dry stretch is ending with a bang. A multifaceted storm that gives us everything from rain and wind to even a snowy side to the storm, and we have it all for you right here on Weather or Not. So the bottom line is this: the rain arrives late Wednesday evening, so the fire risk is still somewhat elevated into the afternoon hours on Wednesday, so we have to be on alert for that. The rain will come in late night, and then there will likely be a 4 or 5 hour window starting at about 3 in the morning when we get our heaviest rainfall, even a rumble of thunder and also some gusty winds. That's going to take us into the morning commute and maybe even mid-morning north and east of New York City. But when I talk about that 4 or 5 hour window till 3 to 7 or 8 in the morning, that's centered over New York City. In terms of rainfall amounts, in general, an inch or two, but there'll even be higher amounts, especially north and west of New York City. In terms of impact, this is going to be a very slow morning commute on Thursday, so allow for extra time. Maybe think about mass transit. If it's an option for you to work remotely that day, save the headache of traveling what will be a pretty ugly morning. By the way, there will be some gusty winds along with the heavy rain, maybe even a rumble of thunder, some gusts 30 to 35 miles an hour. There's a threat of some minor coastal flooding as we go into later Thursday and Friday. And there'll be a lot of chill and even some snow inland behind this storm. Even some wet snowflakes that can get all the way down to the coast. It is blustery and showery all the way into the first part of the weekend, although with each day, the showers become less numerous, especially on Saturday. The key is the fire risk is much lower after this storm, which is great news. And our reservoirs get a good drenching of rainfall. I mean, it's just a dent in the drought. This is not drought-busting rains. I don't want you to mistake it for that. We're 9 inches below average since the beginning of September. We're 5 inches below average for the year, and reservoirs are running nearly 20% below average level. So we'll get a little help here. And by the way, the Delaware Aqueduct project, which was fixing a leak near Newburgh, that had New York City tap water going from, or at least coming partially from, the Croton Reservoir system. Well, that was tapped too much because of the recent dryness. Well, now they're actually suspending that project, reopening the pipeline back into the Catskills. So we're in pretty good shape here for getting some of the reservoir water from the Catskills again. Some of you have even noted that the taste of the New York City water has had a slight change. Well, you might notice a return to that familiar taste. Meanwhile, severe to extreme drought across the area. Unfortunately, the lowest totals, and they're still significant, but the lowest rain totals will be seen over parts of southern Ocean County, closer to an inch of rainfall. The rainfall to just wipe out the drought, that's 2 or 3 months worth of rainfall, 8 to 11 inches of rain, even more than that, 14 to 17 inches of rain over parts of central and southern New Jersey. So we just have to chip away at this moving forward. And the pattern is suggesting that not only this storm, but there are multiple rain threats moving forward as we go through the next week to 10 days. So water vapor satellite, tremendous amount of moisture from the remnants of Sarah actually getting incorporated into this system, but that's actually aimed more over the southeast where they've had some flash flooding. But some of that's going into the Atlantic and will be absorbed into the storm. And when that piece of jet stream energy gets infused into this storm, it's almost like a shot in the arm, and then the heavy rain starts to develop, as low pressure will actually develop on top of us Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We'll first start to notice an enhancement in the rainfall later Wednesday night. We'll start to see some rainfall come in toward midnight, and then I think the heaviest rainfall is during the overnight leading into that Thursday morning commute. Again, a 3 in the morning to about a 7 or 8 in the morning, and I do think by the tail end of that morning commute, the heaviest rain is already north and east of New York City. Then we just spend the day showery on Thursday, and I'll show you a close-up version of this. But the idea is some colder air is going to wrap into the storm as it departs, and part of the area will see some snowflakes. Here's a close-up view. First thing on Wednesday is, yes, there's a lot more cloudiness moving in, but there's still some dry air coming in from the north-northeast. So there will be some thin spots in the clouds, especially east of New York City. We start out actually near our typical daytime highs, around 50 in the city, 40s in the the suburbs. And it's certainly mostly cloudy, but there will be a couple of thin spots in the overcast at times, especially the farther east you are. We're going to squeeze in the evening commute dry, but then late Wednesday night toward midnight, the first batch of rain starts to move in. And I do think once we get to that 3 or 4 o'clock time period, we start getting into the heart of the storm in terms of the heaviest rain. That could be accompanied by some rumbles of thunder, even some gusty winds during the overnight. So early commuters are going to have the biggest challenges moving forward. You see how still very heavy rainfall, 7, 8 o'clock in New York City, starting to get north and east of New York City. And then by late morning, it's just more showery in most locations, unless you're talking about maybe the Hamptons out to Montauk. At that point, already some wet flakes are trying to mix in the highest elevations of the Poconos and Catskills. The rest of Thursday is more showery, especially from the city on northward. There's actually not a heck of a lot going on south of the city, south of I-78. But notice, even Thursday evening, as that colder air starts to wrap into the system, we start to see some wet flakes mix in. Temperatures are above freezing. Roadways would just be wet, but there certainly could be some snow in the air, and maybe we have some accumulations in the highest of elevations. Those snow showers will continue into the day on Friday, while north and west, maybe a couple of flakes can make it down in the morning all the way down the coast. But obviously this time of year with a system like this, any accumulations are going to be favored in higher elevations, especially above 1,000 feet. Even above 1,500 feet, we might be talking about several inches of snow in the Poconos and Catskills. Let's talk totals. Rainfall amounts. This is impressive. A 1 to 2 inch rainfall across a good part of the area. Your lower amounts will be over southern Ocean County, where unfortunately we have the extreme drought, but still significant rainfall, and a good shot at seeing some amounts over 2 inches of rain over northwest New Jersey, into parts of the Catskills and Poconos, and over a lot of the Catskill watershed, so the reservoirs getting a good drenching of rain. In terms of snowfall, we're not looking at any accumulation in and around New York City. The nearby northwest suburbs, we can see some wet flakes, maybe even down to western Long Island, but you start getting into Sussex County, into northern Orange County, we can have some coatings, especially on colder surfaces, and now we can get a few inches of wet snow in the Poconos and Catskills, maybe the highest elevations of the Catskills. We could even surpass 6 inches of snow. This is a pattern-changing storm. What I mean by that is now all of a sudden the steering pattern, the jet stream is going to look a little different. So we get past the heaviest rain Wednesday night and Thursday morning. We're still showery even in the day on Friday. I can't rule out a straight shower Saturday. Probably not a lot going on there, but it's kind of blustery. We'll get a quiet Sunday and Monday pre-Thanksgiving travel, but then there are 2 rain opportunities after that. One is Tuesday and one is on Thanksgiving. Both look like rain, but could be disruptive to travel going forward. So we can see on the steering pattern, the upper low on Saturday, core of the cold air leaving us. Our temperatures start to moderate. We get more of a zonal, quick-moving pattern that doesn't favor big storms, although there's a significant storm that starts to come into the west coast there. And then we have this broad flow out of the southwest, bringing over Pacific, even some Gulf moisture, fast-moving, not terribly strong systems, but opportunities maybe every other day for a chance of rain there. And I think one will be Tuesday and one may approach on Thanksgiving. No details we can tell you at this point, but I do think we have a rain threat as we approach Thanksgiving. In terms of precipitation going forward, a nice sign from the Climate Prediction Center. For the first time in a while, you can see an above normal signal from late November into early December. In terms of temperatures, shading away or steering away from some of the above normal temperatures we've seen, closer to average temperatures. Just looking at the overall 10-day stretch, you see the chilly air, very blustery behind this system. Maybe we recover to normal a little bit above Sunday and Monday, but once again, it's near or below normal as we approach Thanksgiving. Finally feeling like late November. 51 degrees at 7 in the morning on your Wednesday. Partly to mostly cloudy skies. A few breaks, especially east of New York City. During the day, we'll climb through the upper 50s with limited sunshine, but it will also be dry into your evening commute. Go for a high of about 59. Tomorrow, much needed rain will arrive late. We're going to go with an AccuWeather Alert for some heavy rain, some gusty winds after midnight. That will go into Thursday morning. Thursday afternoons is more showery, about 51, but the flavor of the day is feeling like 40s. Rain can mix with snow showers as we go into Thursday night and Friday morning, especially inland. It's blustery and cold and showery on Friday. Still blustery on Saturday, but minimal precipitation. More clouds than sun. Still brisk on Sunday with more sun at 51. Nice on Monday, and then our next shower chance will come on Tuesday. That's the way it's shaping up. We'll continue to update the forecast, but thanks so much for listening to Whether or Not. We'll see you next time. Rain or shine, be careful Thursday morning.